guys, welcome back to another video. So I just want to go over recent stuff, the news, obviously SpaceX, Elon Musk. And right here you can obviously see the start of SpaceX, right? So, few things here. I've always looked up to Elon Musk because he is essentially creating technology, whatever he's doing it for the betterment of humanity. And of course, that means his viewpoints of everything he is doing. But I genuinely believe that he does have good intentions, um, and of course, people can, while having good intentions, see things a different way than others would, right? Because some people, and that's good to have that disagreement, right? And I think it's also great that Elon is also receptive of the feedback, and he does genuinely. He's not just my way is right, everything way. I genuinely believe he does take the feedback, and maybe even incorporates it. I don't know, like, right? Throughout the past, for example, 20 plus years in SpaceX, right? Um, Obviously he probably did. That's why he's gotten probably here so far, right? And has done so much better than other companies, even beating NASA, Blue Origin, and all these space companies, right? Virgin, whatever, right? Um, so that's what separates Elon from everyone, and that's why I've looked up to Elon like basically all my life. And um, creating technology, creating innovation for humanity, right? And why I want to say emphasize that is I genuinely believe sometimes technology can actually make civilization worse, right? Um, and lazy and reliant and whatnot. Major companies today, right? Um, I'm not gonna name any because I might have problems in the future with my own company, but uh, they just made things way too easy, and it just caused laziness, caused isolation, it caused even more mental health problems, right? So even though yes they're regarded as highly successful, they created innovative things, it didn't really benefit humanity if you think about it. And I'm talking about top companies today, okay, as of 2026. And there's a lot like that, and you can probably guess, you're probably gonna know. um, but yeah, it just um, what Elon is doing, he's genuinely creating for humanity. He isn't trying to exploit. He isn't trying to make people lazier. He actually preaches more hard work, essentially, which is what I love. I just love what he stands for, and this is like glazing, but yeah, I think he has good intentions. And now let's start with SpaceX. So SpaceX. This is a thing that one of Elon's companies that is more really for the future, like maybe the next couple hundred years, and maybe in the next couple hundred years, we'll be grateful that SpaceX started in the 2000s, right, compared to later, right, and the innovation that happened, right. But for right now, SpaceX is more of like, it doesn't provide immediate value right now, unless if you're talking about AI data centers. But um, I'm gonna get into that. But that's and Starlink, right? Which has helped a lot in terms of competition, um, getting um, the whole world internet access, right? Even more possibly at an affordable price, and even promoting competition within in those countries, um, to promote their own networks, like, or build out their own networks, 4Gs, 5Gs, right? And countries that never had internet connection or had really bad internet connection, right? So this really forces their hand, right? So that's um, so that aspect of SpaceX, the Starlink system, has been amazing, right, and provides immediate value. But I'm really talking about um, the rockets, and that's where most of SpaceX future value is guaranteed in right now. So it's guaranteed certain things which are reflected as not price risk, right? There's when you are investing in a stock, right? Most risk is already priced in, right? Already. That's forthcoming, right? But in SpaceX, every risk, sorry, everything is basically priced in as a guarantee, which is very different from how other traditional stocks, or equities that we normally trade, right? So that's where SpaceX um, is kind of really risky, if you think about it. But I do believe in SpaceX, right? But from a investor standpoint, for long term, SpaceX has to do these few things, right? There, it's basically gates, right? Um, first of all, I said I love Starlink, but Starlink has, I believe, about like 9 to 10 million users. We need to see that constantly expand, because, right, SpaceX is innovative, and it has promoted a lot of growth, but now the growth is also happening, right? The competition is happening, right, because of Starlink, right? So we need to see that Starlink user base actually um, gain more users, right, and not beat out by Amazon's Steam technology, or other providers, right, or local providers, right? Um, so we need to see that. Preferably, you want to see at 15, like grow up to like 15 million users, um, and then that would be a positive signal. But the most important signal would be, so currently SpaceX, I believe, they can collect the boosters, right, and reuse them, but upper stage reusability hasn't been proven yet, and that's another gate. And these are all basically guaranteed that they'll be able to do this, do that, right? So uh, that's why buying SpaceX at this current evaluation does not make sense. Um, and even uh, granted, right? Even if it comes, um, if Starlink and SpaceX is able to do those things, right? Like gain that 15 million user base, or prove upper rocket reusability and get the per kilogram price down of cost of launch, right? If they're able to do all that, then that's the perfect time to invest, because it's proven, right? Um, and it's a guarantee, and it's a long term play, right? If you buy, but I believe that's when the buying should actually happen, not now when the price has a lot of guarantees within it and no risk priced in, right? And that's my whole advisement towards it. And I'm a big fan of Elon. I love Elon, man. I literally talk about Elon all the time. Um, and I just I told like anyone I talk to, I'm like, oh my god, I love Elon Musk. I look up to Elon Musk. Um, um, but in terms of SpaceX, um, it just needs to be proven. Um, it just needs to be goddamn proven. All the guarantees, and even if when it's proven, you don't really know how much the market will move, but it'll probably not move that much. So it's still a great opportunity then, right? So just wait it out. Oh, and also one other fact is how many launches they're doing. I think they did about like only a few launches within the past 3 years. You need to see consistent launches, and they said that it should happen in next year or at the end of this year. I'm not sure exactly, but they did say they're gonna start launching like every month or every other. So you need to see that, right? So after all, you have to see those all three evidence, then you enter, okay? Um, because oh my god, I love you. Oh my, I hate to even say this, bro, but yeah, it's the truth. Honestly, um, for the normal retail investors, okay. But if you are a diehard Elon supporter, I guess you invest and really hold it out long term, right? The next I don't know, couple decades. But I have this thing against the stock market. Well, the markets, right? I That's the majority of the market is controlled by the 85%, right? And when you're buying an asset, you're just making the richer, right? I'm talking about the retail investors or even small funds, right? You really aren't. You really are just propping them up, and that's what I refuse to do. And that's why day trading has been such a great opportunity to not be a sheep in the markets. Oh, and like another thing, like I love Elon, but thing is, right, with the SpaceX, the IPO launched in Nasdaq, right? So all the funds that are tracking Nasdaq, they're automatically gonna buy SpaceX as well. So what happens is the funds or the funds that generally consist of retail money, right? Uh, and people's like pension funds, retirements, whatever. So like you are basically propping up companies, and it's just not where the normal people win, but the big people win the most, right? Because even if the IPO, right? Let's just say you, let me go back to this open. Anyway, SpaceX. Let me check SpaceX. Let me just show you, right? Let me just see. Let me just show you guys, right? So if you bought an IPO, okay, you bought it. You bought it at 152, right? Right. I'm just saying you just bought it here, right? You bought it open, right? So your order's executing. Wait, what the hell? Your order's executing, right? Your order's executing possibly. I don't know if you would have gotten a fill here, but even if okay, let's just say base scenario, you got in fills for 152, 153, right? Um, Look at this, like, right? You just end up in this chop, right? And you just are really basically you just don't like the like the gain is just so minimal compared to the people that bought in at the IPO price of 135, I believe, right? So they bought in here, and you're only able to buy in from here. Like, so isn't that just a weird thing, right? So um I just don't believe in this, right? Um and that's why I've just sticking to day trading, and I don't believe in long term things within the stock market because it's a moral value. Okay, yes, historically stocks have gone up. If you leave in, probably yes, you'll make probably 8-9%, whatever, right? But I just don't believe it in my principle of you're just propping companies up and you're just making the rich richer. Okay, when you invest in a fund, when you do, just think. I encourage everyone to think before they invest, right? In a fund, it's such a, if you're against the billionaires, if you're investing in a fund that invests in Amazon, you're funding a billionaire. You're making the billionaire richer. So it's not, you people don't make sense. Like you're just being a sheep, or you're being contradictory at most, right? But I know people don't have the resources, they don't have the knowledge. So I get, yes, I get it, the fun, but you can't be a hypocrite here, okay? When you are buying a stock, you are making the rich richer, okay? And that's what I want everyone to understand. And you're not taking away their power by doing a freaking protest, right? You're giving them more power when you buy the stock, right? So if you have a 401k, a pension, whatever the hell, just be aware of all this, right? And when you're buying IPOs like this, you want to make sure that you're buying where there's price. It's just the fundamentals are correct, right? I love Elon. Again, I'm saying it for the millionth time, but SpaceX fundamentals, as true investor, it makes zero sense. Okay, and that's the truth. But I do support Elon. I do hope he continues doing great, and he will continue doing great because he has the assets, he has the support. But for you guys, the average normal person, right? And Elon is thinking probably decades, 100 years ahead, right? So he's probably not caring about everyday people like that, but um, because he believes in the future of humanity more than the current, right? Which is in all of his right to do, right? He is the leader, he is the visionary, right? Um, but I'm just thinking about the right now for the people, right? And just be more aware. That's all I have to say. But that's why I'm so privileged to have my company now, where I can truly make a difference today and now, and help people now and today, um, and also use technology for good. My company is a AI software company in affordable housing construction. So um, just making the whole construction, like, why you see affordable housing, there's a, first of all, there's a demand for it, but you generally don't know the specifics that, like, affordable housing actually creates more to make than regular market housing, right? And these are all the challenges we face today, and that's exactly why I'm so passionate about it, and that I'm doing something about it, that I'm spending a lot of resources on it, honestly. um but it's kind of Elon's philosophy down to me. I also care about humanity, and I care about the now, and I do care about the future. I do care about the future, and um, yeah. But I believe in Elon's philosophy, and I believe uh, that we are deteriorating as a society, and that has to do a lot with current companies, technologies, etc., uh, social, whatever, like, um, and that really needs to. I don't know how that's gonna get addressed. Honestly, it's just too deep of a hole. But what I can just do is just help one by one. I speak to a lot of people. I speak to um, that genuinely need help, guidance, and I try to guide them. Like, do you realize how much of an false reality, false validation social media gives someone? It's just a lot. And then also just convenience. Like, there's just so many softwares, companies that make everything way too convenient, and you don't know how that impacts you, because when you're young or when you're in a growing phase, you want to be challenged. You want to um, be complexly challenged, right? Um, and I think the thought of convenience, like, oh my god, there's so many companies I could just name right now. Oh my god, but I can't. I have to be brand friendly. Uh, but yeah, like, it just creating such a bad ecosystem, and I hope people can wake up from whatever simulation this is, and but I do believe in getting rid of the grunt work. Like, nobody should be cleaning Excel files. Like, that is not intellectually challenging. Like, that's just like, I don't know how to explain it, but that's not expanding your knowledge base. That's just, even if it's just contained within Excel, like, what formula can I use within Excel? Like, how does that teach you anything about life? How, like, anything career wise? Like, that's not life. That's not challenging. So I wholeheartedly believe that should be eradicated with AI. Okay, but other things, just like decisions, buying something, selling something, these are all decisions that should be complexly thought, challenged. Even the law process, right? I'm in a lawsuit that I've continued pro se, that I started pro se, and yeah, it's been very helpful knowledge. Just learning everything, and AI has been beneficial in, like, keeping track of things, um, procedural guidance, etc. But the strategy, everything is through you. AI misses a lot in terms of strategy, or over complicates it or underestimates it, or there's so many gaps, right, with AI. But that's where you have to come in, right? So type of complexity always needs to be there, right? But also in terms of like buying groceries, it should not be too easy, like, because groceries should be a thought process. You should go to a store, you should, all this stuff, you shouldn't just be able to order online and just, I don't know. People need to just, because it causes so much laziness, like it just indirect everything, just there's just an indirect correlation, direct or indirect correlation with everything, okay? And most people don't even realize it, okay? So um that's just my message to the world. And if you're doing something, do it in the hopes of actually making people's lives better, because us humans, it is like in so many manifestos, our destruction is going to be caused by us, right? And I don't think Elon Musk is going to be the cause of that destruction, but other companies that just make it way too easy, way too convenient for civilization. And that's just the worst thing. um, that um, yeah And also just using current technology to help people in the now and also the future. I think Elon has it covered on the future, so I believe a lot of people should focus on the now, okay, the challenges of now. Because I'm sorry, but I'm not that smart to build a rocket, okay? I don't even think Elon's smart, but he just had great people that he learned from, that he um, shadowed and etc. That's why how he built X domain expertise and everything he did, right? Um, and anyone can do that, honestly. But in terms of rockets, does that really interest me now? Yeah, even though you have the knowledge, you have to also be interested in some things, okay? So amazing work to Elon. Great. I just promote more people to focus on current challenges today with society, with the world, um, how to make life better without taking out the complexity of life. Um, that's just the whole core thesis or core question right now, right? Um, I'm yapping, but yeah, this has really been something that I thought deeply, and I think people need to start paying focus to this and start paying attention to this, because um, it's bad to be dependent on, for example, even alcohol, right? Imagine this: people are dependent on alcohol, drugs, whatever, um, and at the moment it feels so good. And I'm not saying I'm just talking about secondhand, third party view, okay, or research, right? Most people that drink alcohol, they do it to lower their like stress, lower their anxiety, lower their pressures, right? Feelings, all that. In the moment, it feels so good, right? But then the next day, hangovers, you feel a lack of structure, you feel etc. You feel weaker than, so just compare with alcohol, right? It's so good at the moment. AI is so good at this moment. This social media is so good at this moment. This e-commerce website is so good at this moment. Oh my god. But what's the afterlasting effects, right? Does it cause more isolation? Does it cause more loneliness? Does it cause laziness? Does it cause you to not think as much critically anymore? Like, there's just so much goddamn stuff. um, is it helping you build a skill? Are you getting competent? Like, all this stuff. Ugh. And I that's why I started making videos, because I can access a couple more people. I don't mind talking to people one by one, and just yapping all this, but it's important for people to realize. It's important to realize what's going on and just break out of the bubble that you're in. Oh, and another thing, vacations. Oh my god, that's public enemy number um, one. If you grew up underprivileged, I grew up so underprivileged, okay? If you grow up underprivileged and your idea is you want to start a company while traveling, are you out of your mind? Um, like people have such unrealistic expectations, and it's just like, figure out what you want. Do you want to be just coasting through life, or do you want to have purpose? Do you want to have meaning? Do you want to wake up every day happy, or do you want to wake up every day sad but turn to other things to make you happy, right? Choose the thing. Either is fine, it's your preference, right? But everything has their pros and cons. um just choose what you want, what um your head's saying. And if you're young, um it's better to be self-aware young, because that is when your brains neurological pathways are forming. And you do not want to wait till you're after 25, 30, 35, and then things to hit you, because reworking your brain at that point will be much harder than it is now. Okay. So I implore everyone, I emphasize this, everyone, um, be great, do great, live by morals, live by values, um, live by self-worth, self-respect, um, and live in consideration to others. um, yeah, well, thank you guys for your time. 26 minutes, but I think this is one of the most important videos. Oh, and also, God. People need God, okay? uh, it's the North Star everyone needs, and everyone that I just meet, that I generally meet, you can already see through them, but they're very shallow, they're very see-through, and they try to, what's it called? No, replace or surrogate. I don't know what the word is, but by like this worldly desires. Oh, um, I have this job. Oh, I made $1 million last month. Oh, I have a Ferrari. Oh, I have a Lambo. Oh, I have this nice house. Oh, I have this boat. It's just all such cope. God damn it, such so cope. Um, Let me tell you guys, when I first made, and I'm telling this from experience, okay? When I first made good amount of money, and um, when I started making thousands every minute, okay? Um, it was good. It was good. But just having money, but you have nothing to work against, right? That's where the problem was for me, like, or work for, right? Um, so that's why I needed to venture out. That's why I needed to start my app company, which it isn't paused, but now my affordable housing software company, which is in progress, which is gonna be life changing, and that gives me more purpose than any money could. And yes, money does buy happiness, and that has to be a substantial amount of money, okay? But that happiness does fade. You know, like how we as humans, we have the best day ever, it ends, next day is just like another day. Then that's exactly like money, right? You will have that highs. You can create the highs with the money, right? But the next day, it just, what next, you know? So I hope that hits. But also, just being honest, 1 million, 5 million is not any money, okay? um and I know it's gonna be shallow to say, but it is not. Yes, that's life changing for people. Well, they can buy a house, whatever, but in terms of long-term fulfillment, that's not enough. That's not enough to even be happy with money. Because yes, get the house, okay, then what? To get actually the high level experiences, you need to be cashing out way more than that, okay? To get a nicer car, Ferraris, whatever, right? um, you need more money to even, vacations, right? Nice vacations, you need more money. uh, Properties all over around the world, right? You need more money. And that does, um, that's where the substantial amount of money comes from. That does buy you happiness, right? But the happiness is fleeting, okay? You'll be happy for a day, then go back to your baseline, right? Rinse and repeat, right? So that's why I encourage everyone to have a purpose, okay? Well, I can't believe I just hit a 30-minute mark, but yeah. Well, I hope you guys take in all this, and let me know if there's any questions and concerns. And it's been Iman, and see you guys for another update. Bye bye.